I know, bless you. We have missed you. We've missed you, Owen. Thank you. Good morning, welcome to Pilates. As usual, make sure you're okay to join in. So let's start with foot placement, toes out and heels behind the toes. Soften through the knees and just breathe. Relax through those shoulders. Let your hands just dangle. Take some breaths. It's Monday morning. Let's set our intentions for the week. So let's open out through your chest, relax through the collarbones, open out.
What are they?
What?
Our intentions.
They're individual intentions. Or we can make one up for you. So just start rolling the shoulders. Breathe. Keep those knees soft. Rolling those shoulders right the way up, back and down. And can you see that my hands turn, so my palms face forwards, and that means that I'm really opening out my shoulders and squeezing into the shoulder blades at that back point, at that end point. Okay, just settle your hands behind, kind of just behind your hips, and then send your shoulder blades right down, so right down. Breathe in and send them down again. So let's try and think calm today, shall we? Soften those knees, and we're just going to take a little slide down. Use those muscles in the belly and the core to help to lift you up. And just easy does it as we just start the day gently. I'm sure most of you will have already been whizzing around getting your jobs done, but it's good to really mobilize properly and working through your body. So reaching down now and then lifting up and almost adding a little bit of a stretch in opposite directions. Lift, lift and reach down. That's it. And that extra couple of centimeters. Reach, reach. Lovely. Okay, and then let's soften through those knees and let's take a little knee circle. Little crunches. Just nice and slowly, sticking your bottom out. So in one direction. And then let's go in the opposite direction. Lovely. And then let's come up, 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 and let's send the hips out to the side. Press away, press away. So knees are soft, belly's pulled in, just press away. Other side, big press. Reach into the outside edges of your hips. Press. And again. And then let's soften the knees again. This time, it's the lovely hip circle. So to the outside edges, out, around, back to the side, forwards, out, side, back. And you need to bend your knees, otherwise you won't get very far. Big circle. Ooh, lovely. And let's go in the opposite direction again. Excellent. Okay, so come up to standing. So we're going to come into a little balance trick. So take your feet and we walk our toes out, heel toe out. Feet are wider than your hips. And we're going to press all of your toes down into the floor. Okay, so separate your toes. Separate and then spread. Put the weight into your big toe, second toe. Soften the knees and just start to come forwards a little bit onto the balls of your feet. So weight in the big toe, second toe as you just slide, and it's a small movement. Just slightly moving forwards, and then you'll start to notice your heels might start to lift. So let's start to lift those, your heels. Did I say heels? Your heels will start to lift. Keep the shoulders relaxed and down, belly, core pulled in, really engaged, but not so much that you can't breathe. Let me come back a bit. So, leaning forwards onto the toes. Now, squeeze your thighs together as you come forwards and release. So push up, weight in your big toe, second toe, squeeze the thighs together. And what happens is if you don't put the weight through your big toe, second toe, your ankles go a bit wobbly. So we're directing your weight to the center of your body by putting the weight through the big toe, second toe, and squeezing the thighs really holds it all together in the center, making you steadier. Lovely. Good. And then we're going to bring our feet together just a little bit. So hip width. We're going to keep length in our bodies. And we're just going to lift the toes. You can start one toe at a time, one foot at a time, but we're lifting the toes slightly and then come back onto the whole foot. So you're going to keep your body straight. I'll show you from the side. Body stays straight and there's a tendency to stick your bottom out. As you lift, and you won't go very far, lift your toes and back to the whole foot. Now I've got a wall behind me, but feel free if you're wobbly to step back. And we know that's your step, your compensatory step we call it. So, little step, lean back, ooh, there we go. And that's fine to do that. That's how you compensate for that wobbliness. So, lifting the toes on the whole foot, lifting the toes. Lovely. And then let's come to our favourite move, wide base sway. So nice wide feet and just come to the side. So working through just some of the balance movements, and these are the ones we move in falls prevention, but it's all the same work. It's all balance, confidence, stability, etc. And we can add an arm or two. This is your safest position. So if ever you do feel wobbly, come to a wide base of support.
Are you there, Owen?
You're in.
Just waiting for Owen to...
Lovely. Hold it to one side. Do whatever you like with your arms. Sometimes it's better to have your hands onto the opposite side. Just it gives you that leverage, that longer lever to the side. So we're pointing our toes, the heel is lifted, soften through that knee, and then just come to the other side, hold it there. Hear me? Strong lift.
Oh, sorry, cough straight away.
Lift through the belly, you're live, Mike. Hold and breathe. Let's go to this side one more time. Feel length through the body. And then last time, toes just tapping, just touching. And then come out and just a little march and roll out. Roll out those shoulders.
Right, grab your rollers, ladies.
Grab your rollers.
So, morning. Might need to do a little adjust there, Owen. Right, okay, so what I'd like us to do is stay with the standing Pilates today. So let's start with a calf raise. So what I want you to do is take the roller in front of you. Just by applying a little bit of pressure with your fingertips, we'll engage your core naturally. So I want you to think about the spiral arch, come into the outside of the calf, come into the inside of the knee, outside of the thigh, inside of the inner thigh, and up into the hip. So think about a pull up and squeeze through the pelvis. So a bit of a butt squeeze, okay? That's part one. Part two is to rise up into your toes and then land into your heels, but barely touch the mat with your heels. So rise and lower, and at the same time apply some pressure with your hands into the roller, okay? So this is core work, and then breaking it down, thinking about some strength around the ball of foot, the ankle and the calf. Okay, so we're going to do quite a few of these, and the reason being we need to really keep those calf muscles nice and strong so you don't feel dizzy if you are on your want to feel dizzy if you transfer from sit to stand and go, ooh, got to keep the calf strong. And besides, they look great in a pair of shoes, you know, when you've got great legs. Yeah. So we are rising and lowering, big toe, second toe, barely putting the heels down, applying a bit of pressure into the top of the roller. Okay, well done. Up and hold, and we're going to do 20 pulses. Tiny, little, tiny presses, tiny, weeny, little presses. So that's 4, 8, 12. There you go, 16, 20, down. One heel, sink it backwards. Press the heel into the ground, squeeze its knee. So the heel pushing down into the floor, straighten off that knee, squeeze the front of the knee, squeeze the thigh muscle. Lift up through your torso, eye gaze forward, shoulders back and down. Step in, switch out. Now, if you didn't already know this, the calf is actually a group of muscles. So when we talk about gastrocnemius, or your gastroc, it's split. So to target the lower leg, we have to change positioning. So now we think about more of a plie shape. So toes turn down, heels towards each other, and we're going to do the same again. So I want you to think about that spiral up the inner thigh into the pelvic floor, so squeezing up through the boot, up through the bottom, so you're almost pushing your hips forward. And the same thing, we rise and lower. So when you do this, I want you to think about the front of the foot. So squeeze it, so everything in your inner thigh is tight and push forward. So tight, tight and push forward. Got it? Okay, up and stay there. So now what we're doing, we're working around the outside and outside edges of the calf muscles. So 20, breath, tension, relax shoulders, tiny weeny presses, tiny weeny little presses, tiny. Got it? Yeah? Got that? So by now you should be starting to feel it coming up into your booty. Lovely jubbly, and rest. Similar. So now we step back with the toe turned out, but square off the hips. So I want you to squeeze the belly of the thigh, squeeze the kneecap, make sure we're squaring off at the hips and lean in. Now lift heel, press heel down. So we've got more of a straight line now. So we've gone from externally rotated to straight line. So you go, ooh, that feels nice. Switch sides. So we go from that plie shape, step back, straighten that back knee, squeeze the back thigh, lean in, use your roller for support. Now we lift, rotate, press down again, lean in. You're welcome. Well done, and step in. And the one I prefer the most, but we do the least, tends to be the internal hip rotation. So this one, put some time into the setup. So think about pulling up and allowing that spiral to open up the hip and pelvis. And when you feel like you've pulled up through the front of your body and tucked under the back, then we rise again. Take a bit more time in this movement, simply because we're almost going against the setup. So we're trying to go for that external rotation and you feel like your toenails want to clip in. So we need to kind of just work more to the outside edges of the ball of the feet. Lovely. Again, use your roller for that additional pressure. So that's why we're using it. It challenges the balance, but pressing down creates a bit more stability in the shoulder and it engages your central muscles. Lovely. Up and hold. Tiny, weeny, little presses. Tiny, weeny, little presses. Last 4, toe down. Now, this time round with the stretch, what I'd like you to do is send your foot out to the side. Okay, and bend the knee. It feels weird. Whole thing feels weird. So the toes have gone together. Take the leg further out and sink. Now lift and bend the knee and turn the knee over the toe. Got it? Should we try it on the other side? Feels weird. It's a real weird one, honestly. So your toes are pointing towards each other. Take a step out and sink in towards the roller, so there's more of a release around the hip joint. Well done. Rise up. Okay, and I've forgotten what we did. There. Oh, that's right, bend the knee. Okay, so we're continuing to use the roller. This time I just want us to release the lat, so we've got to think about the big muscles in the back. Stepping back, hands pressed down, that bit's important. Now, it might be, this is as far as you go. This, my friends, is where I think we start to worry about our confidence and our capabilities. So let's start, without sinking too deep, just to draw a circle around the base of your roller. How does that feel in your feet? Okay, now we switch direction. Okay, and now we settle. Let's see if we can push the bottom backwards. Think about your alignment. So once again, think big toe, lifting up through the arch of the feet, feeling the energy through the inner thigh, right the way up into the buttocks. So once we've set through the hips, then see if we can settle through the chest and lower the upper body a little deeper. Now it's going to cause quite a bit of tension through the shoulders and the elbow joints. So breathe. If you find this is a bit intense, you can just raise up through the upper body a little bit. A couple of things to add. You can take the hips side to side. You can bring the feet closer together. This reduces your base of support and allows for more of a stretch. I think what I'm saying is, close your eyes if you want to and have a little play. Lovely. Okay, good stuff, and release. Okay, so what I'd like us to do is to work on the hamstring. This is all standing Pilates, by the way, so I haven't lost the plot this morning. Right, okay, so what I'd like you to do, roller, left side, left hand holds top of left roller, right foot is your stabilizing front leg. It's the left leg that's going to do the work, and it's going to look like this. We're going to do 3 heel strikes, 1, 2, 3, and a point. 3 heel strikes, boom, 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 point. Now, at first, when you deliver this, you'll notice a tension in the thigh. So by the time you've got to 6th or 7th repetition, 3, 2, 1, point, you're really feeling things releasing in your thigh and knee. 3, 2, 1, point. Nice and tall. How tall can you rise up through all of this? Is the back okay? 3, 2, 1, point. Okay, and then to complete that, bring your nose towards its knee. Hold it there. Our eye gaze is going towards the knee. We're lifting up the knee higher and higher and higher. Holding that balance. Pointing the toe of the left leg. Hold it there. And then release. Well done, team. Right hand, right roller. Right side. Left leg is your stabilizing, supporting leg. Right leg is back. Think about your posture. All your energy is through that front line. So crown of head, shoulder blades, ribs, hips, all forward, all over that front leg. So the front leg is really taken the power, and we have pulled out of the hip nice and tall. 3 strikes with the right. 1, 2, 3, point. 1, 2, 3, point. Now we're going to come back to this. We're going to revisit it on the other side. Now, where are the thighs? We don't want them forward. We don't want them forward. Back. 3, 2, 1, point. 3, 2, 1, point. Good. Nice. Hamstrings are going, hello. And release. And how do we release? We draw the right knee into the nose. Knee, pull up. Well done. And then take it away. Good job. How are the legs feeling? Got a thumbs? We all right? Good, yeah, go like, oh, hello, hello. Okay, so we're going to come back to exactly that movement. So we've got the 3 strikes, boom, 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 point. But this time I only want you to focus on the inner thigh of the left. So when we take the leg back, it will, what you might see, what we normally do is this, 3, 2, 1, boom. This time what I want you to do is to set yourself up, bring the foot inwards slightly. It will feel like it's crossing the body, it's not. And then when we strike, 1, 2, 3, and point, really focus on keeping the leg and the thighs together. Does that make sense? So actually what's happening here, we're having more of a dialogue of the inner thigh to pelvic floor and the walls of the pelvic floor. Okay, so set yourself up, set the leg up, then bring it across, but not crossing. So bring it towards the ankle on the right, flex the foot, 3, 2, 1, and press away. Really think about an inner thigh squeeze here. 1, 2, 3, toe down. 3, 2, 1, toe down. Continue to do that. Can you help me with this? Okay, and then when we finish that, what I'd like you to do this time is to just rock back. So the flat foot, straight leg, heel comes down, and then I want you to hip hinge forward. I am going to demonstrate on the side as well. So, foot comes down, roll the whole foot into the floor, straighten off front and back legs, lean forward. Okay, making sure the hips stay nice and square. If you want to add in here, stretch with your left arm, stretch and rotate with your right. Lift up through your abdominals and sink a little lower. Feel nice? Isn't it? I'm all over this today. Okie dokie, okie okio. We're on the other side. Right hand, right leg back. Think about your setup. So the right toe touches the mat and then it comes inwards as if you've got a bit of an inner thigh squeeze going on. 3 heel strikes, boom, 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 point away, squeeze the inner thigh. 3, 2, 1, point. 3, 2, 1, point. Lovely, continue. 3, 2, 1, point. Now sometimes you can feel this quite strong into the lower back, and that's indicative of the weakness in that area. Don't panic, we'll release it off in a moment. I do like this though. Do we like this? Yeah, it's great for walking. Keeping those inner thighs checked and squeezed together. 3, 2, 1. Last time, 3, 2, 1. Roll the foot down. So both feet are in a straight line forward. And now start to hinge at the hip. To make it stronger, drive your right arm forward, send the palm of your left back. Oh, that feels nice, doesn't it? Lovely. Feels nice. I think it looks nice too. Well done. Rolling up and give yourself a moment. Well done, team. Okay, so we are taking the roller into the middle of the mat and elegantly we're going to bring ourselves down into a kneeling position. Okay, right. I realise I'm still wearing my glasses. Okay, so what I want you to do here is just to put your bottom onto your heels. I know this is uncomfortable. I really am. I really am what? Knowing it's uncomfortable, I'm sorry. Okay, we are going to take our body weight in a direct plumb line. So shoulders, elbows, wrists on the roller. Curl your toes under your heels, take a breath in, exhale and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1, lower. Relax your feet, relax your wrists. Oh, mine all went crunchy clicky then. It's important here to make sure we've got the right alignment. So we are looking for body weight over the wrists. Curl toes, take a breath, engage that pelvic floor of yours and lift the knees. Here we go for 4 and 3 and 2. Knees down, relax feet this time. Walk your roller forward. Okay, when I'm leaning forward. Yeah, it often does when I'm on that side. So I'm just going to change my positions a minute, team. Okie dokie. So here we go. Hands, elbows, shoulders, curl toes under heels, brace through your pelvic floor. Now what I want you to do is think about lifting up through the pelvic floor first and the low back before we lift the knees. Now we're going to stay here for 10. 3, 2, 1, knees down, relax feet, send arms forward to stretch out through the lats, part 1. Pushing the bottom backwards as far as you can, part 2. Enjoying the stretch out of the elbows and your forearms. And now use your breath. Okay. Coming back up, this time we're coming down onto the forearms. Set your roller in the top of your yoga mat, top third. And all I want us to do for a moment is to work from coming out of child's pose, coming forward into a 3/4 plank. But the knees remain on the floor, the toes remain relaxed. And now I want you to start thinking about the tension on the inner thigh. So as you come forward, we've got some control work. The glutes are firing. Your inner thighs are starting to connect, as in tension rather than touch. Well done last time. Belly to backbone, squeeze through the bottom, engage inner thighs, set position, curl toes, lift knees into full hover. 4, 3, 2, knees down, sit back, take a breath, come forward again. Think about that inner thigh connection, curl toes, and when you're ready, if you want to, bring your legs closer together and really squeeze through the buttocks and the glutes. Buttocks and glutes, same thing. 4, 3, 2, knees down, sit back, well done. Woo! Right, grab a quick drink because we're going to lie back on the roller and just have a little bit of a spine massage. I came in with the conversation around feeling dizzy. See how you get on. So what I'd like us to do is lie the length of the roller from tail to crown of head when you're ready. Hot drink. Now, with this, and I'm hoping that you sometimes at home go, oh, I fancy a little bit of a roll on my roller today. No? Okay. Just me. Firstly, take your feet nice and wide so you feel nice and stable. Then take your hands to the floor, palms down. Then press your elbows onto the ground. What you might find is quite a draw and a bit of tension into the shoulder blades. See if we can walk those forearms and elbows closer together so you feel like your chest is lifting. Okay, but it's not. The next thing I want you to do is to think about bringing your feet closer together and to start thinking about the inner thigh connection. So lifting up through the arch, feel that spiral come out of the arch, outside of the knee, behind the knee, outside of the middle to top of thigh, where we open up the hip and squeeze through the bottom. And from here, we lift the hips up into the sky. Now, for me, I have been working on this, and the first time I did this on the roller, I felt like my bum lifted about 1 centimetre. So I do feel that my flexibility in the middle back has improved as a result of this. Now, lift your heels. As you do that, press your big and second toe into the ground. Think about the arch. Think about the inner thigh connection into the pelvic floor and squeeze in the buttocks so your hips are really pushed through. Now we do 10 pulses skyward. 10, 9, 8, 7, check knees, big toes, pressure, inner thigh, and slowly let your spine down. Well done. Now I feel like I'm moving you at 1,000,000 miles an hour today. Soz. Or am I? Okay. From here, hands nice and wide because they are now your anchors. Your wide base of support is coming through your arms. And we do that because we're bringing one knee up into position and then the second. So we're going to options, stay here. If you want to progress into single leg stretch, even better, but we don't do that until we've just checked spine, checked inner thigh, checked knees, and then breath. We send the leg out and in and out and in. So you have 20 more from here. 19, 18, well done. If you need to rest in between, feel free to do so. And then reset. Well, if we've got 8 more from here. When you've completed that, feet wide, knees wide, take both knees to one side. So we're stretching out through the quad and the hip flexor. Got it? So feet down, knees wide, then both knees roll to one side. They won't actually touch the ground. Your hands are supporting you there. But enjoy that stretch out of the hip, out of the quad. Lovely. Come up and over. And we just hold that for a moment or two and then take it on to the opposite side again. Well done. Well done. Notice if there's any imbalances. One side might feel tighter than the other. Okay, feet nice and wide. When you're ready, gracefully dismount. I always say that, it always cracks me up. Okay. So what I'd like right, what I'd like us to do is to just rest your back of your neck onto your roller. So don't worry about anything else. Okay, and the reason we're doing this, just for a minute, I want you to push your chin into your chest, and it might release some of the tension in your neck muscles. Press your jaw line down to your chest and then backwards. And then release. Eye gaze to your right side and then to your left. Just roll your head from side to side and just give yourself a I want you to apply pressure. So as you take your head to one side, it's not just a glance, it's just push gently into the roller, reset and push gently as you go the other side. And this is where you do notice those differences. You will feel more tension. I can't remember, bear with me. I think your left side is tapped into your emotions. So if you are more fragile or sensitive on your left side at this point, then work on your breathing techniques to help sort of rebalance your body. So your right side your left side tension here at this point is more tapped in and tuned into your emotions that you might be holding in your body. The other side might feel less stress. Your right side tends to tap in more towards processes. So if you're all nice and organised, this side should feel a bit better. They're just two little pressure points. Okay, now the next thing from here is to hold your rollers. Now just watch for a second, okay? I'm going to lift up my head, send the roller backwards, bring the roller to my chest, send the roller back, and then pull it under my head again. Got it? So it goes big stretch to chest, big stretch, head lifts, back of head. Now we're going to spend a bit of time here. This is mobility of the shoulder girdle. Now, excuse the coughing. This is why I wasn't teaching last week. And I find that Pat, you might have to step in a minute. Let that roller skim your body. So when it's overhead, let it skim your nose as you bring it back. Overhead behind you, lift your head and really try and get it behind your neck and shoulders. We're not resting the head on the roller, we're lifting the head so that you've got some strength going on in the back of the neck. Well done. Feels weird, right? Because we're going to repeat that in either a kneeling position or a prone face down position in a little while. Well done. Release. Relax. Good job. Okay, so that roller is moving. It now goes under your bottom. So your heels touch the roller, your bum touches the roller. You're going to lift your bottom and just knock the roller under your bottom, okay? So use your hands to either wrap around the roller at your hips or the outside edges, you choose. Okay, the next thing is to bring up the knees and then allow the knees to drop towards your chest. Now, this might be great here to make it stronger Send your legs skyward and see if we can bring the feet closer towards your face. This is about stretching the back in the first place, okay? Okay, starting position, vertical. Can you see that line? Okay, what we're going to do, that's quite funny because some of you are facing me through your legs, so you kind of go wide and have a little glance. Okay, what we're going to do is keep the heels together, right? Bend the knees, keep the heels together, into your heels come into your bottom, and then ascend your feet towards the sky again. Okay, so we're coming in, and up, up. Good, 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 good. The vertical line is the important one. Press the inside seams of your feet together. Apply pressure here. Okay. Lovely, hold. Okay, from here, all we're going to do is bend the knees and send them up to the ceiling and flex the feet. So we bend the knees, send them up to the ceiling, flex the feet. Now I can see myself in the mirror, in the camera, and what I can see is happening to me. My thighs want to come closer to my chest. So what I think I'm going to do is take one hand away and use that as a bit of a break. So when I straighten my legs, my knees aren't coming in towards my chest. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. It's all right, isn't it? Can you feel your thighs firing? It's really important to get that lovely ankle mobility. Well done. Okay, hold it there. Take your feet wide. Now, if you want to, you can release your hands off the roller and just gently assist here. So pressing your hands onto the inner thighs just to open up that stretch and that space. Now, I want you to actively turn your toes downwards and send your heels higher towards the ceiling. So we're not relaxing, we're turning the toes down, really pressing your flexed heels towards the sky. You're welcome. Feels nice, doesn't it? Everything's going, woo! Okay, well done. Bring your knees together and just hug them out into your chest for a moment. Well done, team. Lovely. Okay, so I want you to straighten your legs and put your heels down on the ground. By doing this, your hips are going to go higher than your ankles. This is a stretch out through the hip flexors, and some of you may feel this in your abdominals. Focus on squeezing your thighs, the front of your thighs, and also think about squeezing your shoulder blades together to get a really good front body stretch. And then release. Take your feet closer to the roller, lift your hips, send the roller away. Give yourself a moment. Okay, your feet are now on the roller. So hello hamstrings, my old friends. I've come to talk with you again. Okay, right. Arch, big toe. Inside of the calf, inside of the knee, inside of the inner thigh, going all the way up towards the belly button. So we've got that functioning and focused, right? Now we're going to lift up into a bridge and lift back down, melting. So let's give me 3 or 4 of these. Each time, think about the inner thigh. Think about how your hamstrings are functioning and firing. So all it is a bridge, but I really want you to put all your energy into the inside seams of your body. When you get to the top of the movement, really squeeze through the gluteals to get height. And then you can really feel your pelvis opening at the top of the movement. Last time at the top and stay. Okay, now the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. Tiny weeny presses. We're going to pulse the booty. Pulse, 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 good, ow, keep going, 8, 7, 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, lay your spine back down, walk out your roller for a moment. Squeeze your kneecaps, squeeze the front of your thighs. Point your toes towards the heel in. So when I say squeeze the front of your thighs, it's muscles work as agonist, antagonist. So what we're doing, we're shortening the front of the thigh and lengthening the back of the hamstring. So it's a release. Okay, set yourself up as you did in the first move, in the first bridge, but this time roll your roller away an inch or two. It's not far. It will feel far. The same rules apply. Arch, inner thigh connection all the way up to your core and your ribs. We rise up into the bridge and push through. At the top here we pulse again. 10, 9, 8, 7, stop. Send the roller forward 1 more inch. Finish. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the spine come down and bring your knees into chest. Hello, hamstrings. We okay? Can you hear my lovely crunchy knees today? Lush. Okay. Are we good? We are good, aren't we? Good. Okay. We're going to do just a little stretch out for a second. Take your right foot over your left. Now I want you to try and entwine your feet and lengthen your legs to stretch them away. So right over left and really squeeze your thighs and stretch the feet away. Okay, from here, I want you to take your arms overhead and then your right clasps your left. Then we're going to make like a banana, all right? So we're going to lean towards the left-hand side. Walk if you need to, walk your shoulder blades if you need to, but stretch your body as tight and as far as possible. So really put some effort into the lean and the stretch here. Got it? Make it bigger. Really use your left hand to pull your right arm away. And then we release. Good job. Okay, so we're going to uncross, recross left over right in the first place and go for real lengthening. That's the important thing. Then left over right, stretch your arms overhead and then send your arms to the right side. Now again, you might need to just walk towards the right side with your shoulders a little bit. Now your job here on the left is to stretch as far as you can into the top right corner. Really pull and stretch everything. So you'll feel a massive pull through your armpits, through your lats as you lean and stretch. Well done. And release. That feels nice, doesn't it? Good. Okay, so we're rolling on our sides. Mary, any side lying work like this that we're just coming into is really beneficial from a prehab point of view. Okay, so in the first place, let's bend the bottom knee. Take the top leg and make sure it's straight down the line of your yoga mat. We're just going to do some lifts and lowers. A couple of things I just want to draw to your attention is how you settle and for your alignment. So your shoulders must be on top of each other, ribs on top of each other, but your belly button pulls up so we're engaged through the core. So we're lifting and lowering to start with gentle pulses. Okay, now that leg that's long and going down the length of your body, you're going to bend the knee and bring it forward and then press the heel again down towards the middle of your yoga mat. So the knee bends, come forward, and then we press away to the middle of your yoga mat. Got it? So And it's just take your time with it. This is a sneaky one. Okay. Last time. Knee comes in again. Stop. Take it 1 inch away. 1 inch in and away and in and away. That. Keep going. Tiny weeny pulses. Just keeping that range of movement smaller. Find that sweet spot, you know, where you go, ooh, and in a minute there should be heat, pain, excruciating pain, but in a lovely way, because, you know, pleasure, pain, and we're holding it and pulsing. Now you keep going. The knee is now going to just turn slightly up towards the ceiling, just slight external rotation here. It's okay to cry in the comfort of your own space. You're doing really well. Tiny pulses. Ouch. Now you're all saying, I wish Pat carried on this session. Keep going. Keep going. 8 and 7. Ow. Anyone feeling it? Can I just check? Good. Last time. And bring that knee down. Just give yourself a bit of a booty rub. It's lush, no? I love that. I do love that. Okay, well done. Let's go up and over. To do that, let's execute the move in a falls prevention way. So you're lying on your side, your top hand pushes into the ground, and you're going to use the arm to push yourself up. Lovely. And then we're going to flip over. Right then. Okay. So we think about the alignment. That's the important thing. Think about the belly pushed in to the backbone. The top leg, we think about how long it is. And then to start with, we're just lifting and lowering. Relax out through the ankle. It's all very well and good for me to say. But if we put tension into the ankle, the effort then is the whole leg. We need to really isolate around the hip and pelvis. Tiny weeny presses. Oh, I don't know about you, but my other side is still singing. Lovely. Okay, so that's nice. It's just prepping us in a little hip abduction. Again, these are prep moves, really good rehab moves. Okay, up and hold. Now we're going to draw that knee in and then back down the midline of your mat. So we go 1. Sue has got the grooviest camera. It pans in and out and all sorts. So we're just taking our time, making sure we're going back to that starting point, down the middle of the yoga mat. Okay, last time, knee bends. Okay, and then we just go out an inch and in an inch. I don't know about you, but this is my killer side. This is the one that always gives me jip. So I hate the instructor for doing this. And now start to externally rotate. I'm so sorry I did this to you today. Externally rotate, so your knee is now pointing towards the ceiling. And it's only a couple of inches either way. Keep going, team. You're doing really well. Got about 10 more to go. Smiling sweetly and smugly knowing that we're nearly done. You've totally rocked your Pilates session. And release. Knee comes down. Give yourself just a little bit of thanks and be nice with those evil thoughts that you're projecting towards your instructor. Okay, team, push up, roll over, toes together, knees nice and wide. Bringing your chest towards the ground. And just allow yourself a moment or two in child's pose. Knees nice and wide, because it really does help with the hips when you're tight in the hips. Okay. And then from there, come into a 4-point kneeling position, curling your toes under your heels and pressing up into downward dog. You know how I like to finish, nice and strong. Body owns this now, you've totally got it. Ripple forward, so we've got lovely flow into a plank. Squeeze through the buttocks, ripple back into down dog. We're going to do this 4 times, drawing your belly in towards the backbone. Well done. Well done. And when you're ready, put your knees down and bring yourself into a comfortable position. Oh. I love that. They're like, I'm in. Relax. Okie dokie. Okay, whether you're sat or you're lying down, remember the reason why we do this. So, relaxation or parasympathetic breath work, visualizations, affirmations, all this tree huggy stuff, as some people perceive it, others see the science behind it. It is designed for a very valid reason, to help us separate what makes us stressed in the days, weeks, months, and also really nourishing the body. So we know that if we do breath work, we can change which part of our central nervous system is functioning. So we need our fight and flight and freeze, which is our sympathetic part of it's called the sympathetic nervous system, which always seems contradictory to me. Sympathetic bit means that's the kind bit, the empathy bit's not. This is the bit that allows you to be vigilant, alert. It focuses you when you are under stress or fear or any of those negative emotions, which aren't always negative. It is good to be stressed. But equally, if we live in that state for long periods of time, then our bodies are used to shutting down vital organs to help focus with the fight, flight and freeze. So the breath work helps us to re-engage with our digestive system, and also to help us produce serotonin, which we rely on to help us to get good quality sleep. So we say breath work a lot, but it's almost like pulling out the plug, so we get to turn off and power down. And most of us will just keep going and going. So it is important to stop wherever you are, take in the views. So think about that. Think about when you take a breath. Sorry, guys. What does that look like? How do you feel in that moment when somebody goes, take a breath, pause? This gives you that moment to just stop. So this isn't a time for reflection. This is a time to be absolutely on the moment. So as you take that breath, how does it feel in your chest, in your ribs? Where in the breath are you? Have you taken a breath in? Are you pausing? Are you breathing out? How do your shoulders feel? And as you start to control and calm the breathing, now what I need you to do is to notice. Maybe notice your ankles or how your body is making contact with the surface. Adjust. Use this time to let things go in terms of those niggles in your body. Maybe you're holding breath through pain. And we know that calming the breath helps us to release tension, because where there is pain, muscles tend to contract around that area as well to protect pain. But we need to just see if we can allow it to dissipate through breath work. Coming back to what I said about being in the moment, notice what's around you. Notice the sounds. Noticing and breathing. Noticing sounds in the distance. And we try not to analyse what we can hear, just kind of go, yep, birds, move on. Yep, traffic, move on. Okay, and then let's do a visualisation. Let's think about being stood on the top of a really windy field. So this was my true story this weekend, and it involved being near a golf course. But the wind really picked up and we were in the woodlands, and the sound, I mean, it was almost deafening. The sound of the wind in the trees was just amazing. And at the same time, you couldn't feel much wind on your skin because you were being so sheltered by the trees. But you could see the leaves dropping and moving in, spirals. And then you could hear the birds and the smell of like the mud and the sea, and it was such a beautiful thing. So we stepped out of the woodland, which was really noisy, and stood on the top of a hill and listened. So it was nowhere near as loud, the trees, but the wind you could hear now, and you could feel the wind whipping on your skin, and the smell of the sea was so strong, and it was magnificent. It was truly that lovely autumn where you're cold but not so cold,